Hey guys, welcome to Neat Movie News. My name is Dean Thomas.
His name is Dean. We like Dean.
And a movie opening up this weekend. It's gone wide, so everybody can check it out. It comes from one of the best directors probably in history. It's Martin Scorsese's Silence.
The price for your glory is their suffering.
It's too dangerous.
We asked for this mission.
This is a movie that we had heard, well, at least some of us had heard that this was his passion project. It took him 28 years to finally get this movie made. And the story goes is it's two Catholic Jesuits or missionaries who traveled to Japan during the 17th century when Japan was really closed off, and they had started to persecute and kill Christians because it challenged their Buddhist beliefs. And this film really is, you see the craftsmanship that Scorsese has as a director, because this film truly is on such an epic sort of scale and proportion based with the themes it deals with, the way he shoots these large, giant pieces of scenery. It's got a very epic feel, the journey these characters go on, but it's also extremely personal within the story because you're dealing with very few characters and it's just simply how they interact and how their faith is challenged. You've got Andrew Garfield, who plays basically the main Jesuit. He's the main protagonist that we're following. Adam Driver plays his partner in the movie, who isn't in it as much as I think the advertising kind of implies, but he's definitely the second main guy with Garfield who goes on this mission trip. You've got Liam Neeson in a supporting role who is and he is the main driving part of the story, is where Andrew Garfield and Adam Driver's characters are going to find Liam Neeson's character, who had gone to Japan to spread Christianity years before, and they receive a letter that they're not sure how long ago it had been written, and that maybe he had denounced the Christian faith, and then he was now hiding out in Japan. So they go to find him to spread Christianity, and this movie really becomes, it's such a profound and thought-provoking movie because it very much is about how your faith is challenged and what you do in times of struggle with your faith when you're being persecuted to no end. And I think this movie deals with those subjects very well and in a very, very personal sort of way. But the main thing that this movie, I think, really accomplishes is it doesn't pit Buddhists against Catholics or Christians in general and really say which one's better or worse or anything like that. No, it simply provides you with both viewpoints, and I think it does a really good job of showing you both viewpoints and going, okay, this is just up to you as the viewer to decide which do you believe is better, or which do you put more of your own attachment towards. And it does that extremely well, and then it simply creates the conflict through how do the people who follow those faiths, how do they react, how do they go about making decisions, why are they doing the things they're doing in the name of their faith and what they believe in. So I thought the movie handled those things extremely well, and it's a movie that I think, like, this is a tough review for me to come out with because there's so many things where it's the movie itself, while it presents these themes so well, and you go and it makes you think and you go, wow, what would I do, or how do I go on these such larger than life concepts of faith? How do you deal with those sort of things? It's just, for me, overall, the movie itself, while it's incredibly well made, from the cinematography, this movie is incredible. I mean, the acting performances are fantastic. The way this movie tells the story, presents the themes. But to me, it's because it's Scorsese, it's almost a 3-hour-long movie, and it is very, very slow. And it brings up so many great, like I said, points and ideas that will stick with you after the movie, but I don't think you'll ever go back and rewatch the movie because it's so slow. And there's a lot in there while it helps move the story along and get you to these themes and these places. I felt it really could have been trimmed down an awful lot. There's a lot of scenes in here and a lot of just moments where it just really lets you breathe within that scene. And while I get what they were going for with that, I just didn't think it really actually needed to be in there because the movie is really slow. I actually found some continuity errors, actually with most Martin Scorsese movies, because he does such complex camera work and maneuvers. There's a lot of hard things with his continuity that I don't always, it takes me out of it because you notice things, at least I do. There's a couple weird edits here and there as well. but the movie really is very, very slow. It does feel very authentic. You feel like you're in Japan. When the rain is coming down, you feel the rain, you feel the dampness of this area. You kind of feel the how these characters are being beaten down by the hiding they're going through. It's just, and the movie has almost virtually no musical score. So the title Silence really just fit, because a lot of the times this movie, there is the kind of quiet nature sounds of crickets and rain falling, and that's it. And sometimes there's no sound at all. So that creates a very interesting atmosphere within the movie, but it becomes really kind of dull at times for me because there's not a lot going on. There's almost no sound, and it's just kind of, let's get somewhere. And it creates the environment and the world very well, but as far as telling the story, it just became a very, very slow movie at times. I thought the third act of the movie really, then it started to kind of build and get to some stuff that was really just, you were intrigued with what was going on the screen, although it's not big or loud or anything like that. So for me, Silence is an incredibly well-crafted movie. It's a beautiful looking movie. It brings up some incredible themes and presents some very thought-provoking sort of ideas with faith and what it means and how you react when your faith is being attacked and you're being persecuted for it, and how do you react to that. And just to me, the movie it was in overall, well, like I said, as great as a film, as filmmaking goes, there's certain things that I thought could have definitely been changed, and it didn't hit me as hard as maybe I was hoping it would, or certain things like that. It's a very quiet, thought-provoking sort of movie. It's not a loud, crazy, Martin Scorsese usual gangster sort of movie. It's nothing like that. So this was hard for me to wrestle with, because do I go with how entertained I was? Do I deal with how thought-provoking was? Do I deal with, is it just because of how well it's made on a filmmaking level? So that was all very difficult, and there's a lot going through my mind, but I've settled on giving Silence a 78%. I think that's a pretty good balance of between where I thought it was really slow and there was things that could have been really cut down, but overall the filmmaking aspect does make up for some of that, and the thoughts and the place it leaves you when you leave the theater is also a moving one and a pretty big, profound sort of thing, so that also boosts the movie up. So I'm going to give Silence a 78%. Well, there you guys have it. That is my review of Martin Scorsese's Silence. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at NeatMovieNews for all the latest in the world of movies. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you back here next time.